Are you one of the many buyers that's afraid of moving forward with a purchase in today's market because of the rising interest rates and rising home values? I'm Jordan Clark with the Sell on Sunday program, and today I'm going to be talking about many of the reasons why I believe you shouldn't be afraid. Let's discuss the interest rate part first. Interest rates as of today are hovering around 5%. Our country is experiencing inflation like we've never experienced before. The Fed only really has one tool available at its disposal to control that inflation, and it's interest rates. Last week, I was on a call with Gary Keller, the CEO of Keller Williams, the world's largest real estate brokerage. And he told me that he expects interest rates this year are going to land in the 6 to 7% range to try to curb inflation. If you're one of those buyers that is waiting for rates to get back down in the threes and fours, I hate to break it to you, but you're probably going to be waiting for some period of time. If rates do continue to go up, which most experts believe, a 1% increase in interest rate will decrease your buying power by 10%. So if you were pre-qualified for 500,000 at 5% and rates jump to 6%, you can now only pre-qualify for $450,000. For any renters out there that are listening to this message, just a friendly reminder, the interest rate on rent always has been and always will be 100%. Let's discuss the rising prices. Many folks believe the prices have gotten too high in the Raleigh area. And yes, they've grown significantly over the last couple of years. That being said, home values are driven by supply and demand. While the rest of the country is likely going to be headed into a recession very soon, that doesn't necessarily mean that home values are going to go backwards. Let me explain. I mentioned earlier that home values are driven by supply and demand. The Raleigh area continues to make the top of every list that's published for the best places to live, the best places to raise a family, the best places to start a business. It's no surprise that we're one of the fastest growing metro markets in the country. Zillow has us projected to be the second largest metro growing area for 2022. Zillow also produced a report a few weeks ago saying that our area had the largest inventory reduction in the country out of any city over the last 2 years, a whopping 70% decrease in inventory. I've quit saying that we're the emerging new tech hub for the country. We are the new tech hub for the country. It started off in Silicon Valley. Prices got crazy high there. What they had to pay employees to maintain a decent quality of life got super expensive there. And that's when they decided to move to Austin, Texas. Same thing happened in Austin, Texas. My coach bought a house there 2 years ago for $600,000, and he sold it a few weeks ago for $1.3 million. Real estate gets more expensive, rent gets more expensive, what you have to pay employees gets more expensive, and when that happens, these big corporations, the Apples, the Googles, the Amazons, the Nikes of the world, who by the way have all just announced big headquarters that are already being launched or have been launched here in the area, they move to a new location where rent's cheaper, where land's cheaper, where building's cheaper. What they have to pay talented employees is cheaper. That's why our area is experiencing the growth that it currently is. So when there is a recession taking place in the rest of the country, and some of the states that aren't growing the way that ours is, that aren't growing the way that Texas and Florida are, and you lose your job, and you have a family to provide for, what are you going to do? You're going to get on the computer and you're going to go find a new job wherever that may be. Here's an interesting piece of information for you. The two biggest sectors for future job growth in the country and in the world are medical jobs and technology jobs. That defines us. That's who we are as a triangle. And so while the rest of the country is experiencing a recession where their home values may be impacted, their jobs and their livelihood may be impacted, I believe that our area is going to continue to pick up momentum with the number of people that are moving here. And there's just simply not enough supply on the market to meet that demand, which is why I believe that we're going to continue to experience price growth here in the Triangle. It might not be to the same degree that we experienced in years past. 2021, this area experienced historic, unprecedented growth. 25 to 30% growth in most areas of the Triangle. I don't believe that trend will continue to remain true, but I also don't believe that prices will go backwards. I think the rate of growth will just slow down. So, if you're waiting out the market because you believe that prices are going to go backwards, you could be waiting for a really long time. If you're waiting out the market because you think interest rates are going to go backwards, again, you could be waiting for a really long time. How would you feel if you stayed on the sidelines and 3 years from now, interest rates are even higher, and that same house that you were considering buying for $500,000 today is going to cost you $800,000 then at a higher interest rate? I believe you should go ahead and take advantage of the market conditions, take advantage of the tremendous amount of equity that people are making, and let that $300,000 be in your pocket, not your landlord's. This is Jordan Clark with the Sell on Sunday program. I appreciate you tuning into this video. And if you have any home buying or selling needs, feel free to check us out on the web at sellonsunday.com or raleighhomefinder.com. Thanks for tuning in.